Welcome to the first ever round of the GTR World Championship. This first round is from the Sepang International Circuit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. As we are now about 60 seconds away from the start of the formation lap here in Malaysia, I will introduce myself. I am David Francis. I ran the Lexar Motors team in the Brembo World GT from 2005 to 2008 when the series ended. But since then, I have been doing motorsports commentary in Canada and America for various racing series there, but now I have jumped ship to be the exclusive commentator for the GTR WC. The race format here is going to be a 2-hour endurance race. Each team car has 2 drivers, and each team will have different statuses depending on how they are represented by the manufacturer. If they are not the factory team, but they will be in the Independence Championship, and if they are factory back, they will be in a factory championship battle with the 4 other teams of 2 cars. Total of 10 cars represented by 5 manufacturers here, as it looks like we're just about ready to go here. The weather is very hot, as it usually is here in February, up in the mid to high 30s with a very good chance of rain, as we're about to get going with the formation lap, starting with row 1. On the starting grid, it'll be Ricardo Losa in the Corvette, followed by Jimmy Rosenforth in the Zonda on the first row. On the second row, it'll be the second Rosenforth Zonda, driven by Peter Kickert and John Zimmer. And on his inside, it'll be Antonio Fazio and Rico Molinaro in the factory Lamborghini. Row 3 will include the first independent car, driven by Tommy Douglas and Nikolai Nermasovic in the JLD Celine. And on his inside will be Giovanni Rota and Federic Maxi Vogler in the Italia factory Ferrari. Row 4 will include Gerald Pereira in the first of the factory listers, and on his inside will be Rafael Modena and Dennis McNally in the second factory Ferrari. We're going to go to row 5 now, which will include Saeed Al Faisal and Roland Davidson in the Golf Celine number 6, and Matteo Rossi and Olivier Jones in the first of the Ambrose Milan Ferrari in row 5. Row 6 is going to have Formula 1 Reject World Racing Series driver Dulai and Chaco Palapainen in the Best in the World Lamborghini, and on her inside will be Frank van Nijverk and Helena Balviri, the first of row 2 Lamborghinis. Row 7 will have Dennis van Valrijk and Alexis Tantovic in the Scuderia Vittoria Lister, and the second Ambrose Milan Ferrari of Joey Alliot and Jack Malenfant. Row 8 is going to have John Bovey and Jaylene Mori in the Kuhn Engineering Ferrari, followed by Eito Takekawa and Unai Vera in the Poyo Poyo Vittori Lister. Row 9 will have Pierre Mantovani and Andrea Massini in the Chris Short Racing Ferrari, and Darren Cardell and Stefan Kuntz in the second of the Sovolo Lamborghinis, who are caught up in his qualifying lap and only made row 9. Row 10 is going to have first of the Aero Racing Engineering Corvettes with Andori Garrido and Roy Mello, and the second of the Union Saber Corvettes, driven by Alfonso Ribeira and Karl Lichter Schultz. Row 11 will have Simon Garfunkel and Kim Jong-sung in the Belgio Ferrari, and on his inside will be Anthony North and Peter Walker-Chang in the Chris Short Racing Ferrari 575. Row 12 will have Claude Verne and Fernando Valdez in the Ulrico Lister, and Matthias Kellerup and Jasper Larby, the Kellerup Ferrari who held up Cardell in the Sovolo. Row 13 will have Wakano Morioko and Milan Vukovic in the Onyx Racing Celine, and John Magnus and Oliver Garden in the Aero Racing Corvette. Row 14 will have Nestor Aya and Farman Wright in the second Lister way far back in the field, and Adrian Rojo Fernandez and Jan Setner in the second Rojo Lamborghini. Row 15, the last row on the grid, will have Yuji Ito and Luca Modena in the second Ulrico Lister, and the only Viper in the field, Ernest Bruno and Carsten Jagner, taking up the back of the grid. The weather on track, while dry for now, it is going to be wet in about an hour based on the last couple days here. And the race starts about 4. Rain usually starts about 5, 4:45 I'd say. So the chances are we're going to see a torrent of rain coming down fairly soon here in the race, as we're going around turn 12 into turn 13 on the formation lap. We are following the Union Saber Developments Corvette, currently driven by Ricardo Losa, the Spaniard. Jordan McKenna will be getting into the car later on. Drivers will need to complete 30 minutes on track, safety car or not, to be eligible to score points in the Drivers or the Independence Trophy. Points will go down to 10th in each of those respectively, but if you retire, no points will be scored at all, which will be a huge damper on the factory championship, But even if you finish 29th in there, if you finish classified, you still score points, and that could help out in the long run as we reach round 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. With the last round at the high-speed ring, we're awarding double points due to it being a longer event. As it looks like the Maserati safety car is nearing turn 15, the last corner on the turn. The corner that splits the two longest straights on the track. There is another really long straight between turn 3 and 4, which is another really good overtaking spot. But the Maserati safety car has gone off track, leaving the Union Saver Corvette to lead on the pack, control the pace. But it looks like the 62 Rosenforth Pagani has not lined up perfectly for the first row, instead creating a new second row with 31 Honda. As we are green nonetheless, the Union Saver Corvette is going to get a great start, as will the 02 Lamborghini. JLD Celine Tommy Douglas did not get a great start, as both of the factory Ferraris are going to go around the inside to go break for turn 1. The 26 Corvette's going to keep the lead. 62 Zonda's could get second, 31 Zonda third. The 02 Lamborghini's could get fourth as we go around turn 3. Both of the factory Ferraris have gone past the JLD Celine. Looks like one of the Ambrose Ferraris is going to do that around the outside. Brave move. Looks like the other one's going to attempt it on their braking. But as we go past turn 4, the Union Saver Corvette driven by Ricardo Loss is going to lead the way. 64 Rosenforth second, 31 Rosenforth in third, 02 Lamborghini fourth, 28 Ferrari fifth. As it looks like 61, 62 is going to go a little bit wide as we go around turn 6 and 7 and 8 here. Looks like it's all going to be fairly line of stern as we look on through the pack. Looks like one of the Ambrose Milan Ferraris did get past the JLD Celine. As we go down the braking in for turn 9. Bit of contact there between 62 and the 26. Looks like the 31 to get a little bit of chance to get past the 62, but it's not going to happen. Very clean so far, except for that little bit of contact. As the 02's going to get a little bit of a look on the 31. Nothing's going to happen because of it. Looks like this 26 is going to try and get a gap on as much as possible during this dry run, potential running. As we are now going onto the second straight, going towards turn 15 and the last corner, fairly straight lined here, as Dennis Van Volwijk is going to take a look on the 03 Solvo Lamborghini, as the 31 is going to take a look a little bit on the inside, changes his mind on it, as you go around turn 15 to complete the first lap of about 60 to 70. This is a 2-hour event, it takes a little bit less than 2 minutes to do a lap. There's going to be 26 leading the way at the first lap, with both factory Zondas following him. Then first of the factory Lamborghinis, then both of the factory Ferraris. As we go around turn 1 again, this will be 62. Not really taking a look, taking their time. This is a 2-hour long endurance race, but at the rate they're going to try and get as much time out on track as fast as we're going to take a look at first of the Ambrose Milan Ferraris. This is number 42. This is the car that made it past the JLD Celine at the start at this very corner right now. So we're going to get a look at the start, probably from the JLD Celine perspective, to explain why they did not get a good start, as we're going to take a look at the 27 Ferrari Rafael Manna, as we're going to take a look on board with the JLD Celine. Light is out, and the 02 Lamborghini just cut him off, did not allow him to get a good start at all. And look at the gap that the 02 Lamborghini is going to get already. As we're going to see one of the Ferraris go by. There is the 28 driven by Giovanni Rota. Going to shut the door on him at turn 1, and we're going to wait and see where the 27 is going to come in. He's going to take a look again at the 28, but did not get a good exit, and there goes the 27. Did not get the power on, did Tommy Douglas. As there goes the 42 around the outside, did not cut him off enough, as we might see the 41 coming on the inside braking here. Probably not, as we're going to go back to the leading pack, as the 31 has made it past the 60. He's going to take a look on the inside of the 26. At turn 1, he's going to make it stick, forcing him wide. Great move. New leader. It is going to be the 31 Rosenforth, driven by John Zimmer and Peter Kicker, who will get in the car later on. As the 26 is now demoted to second. As we're going to follow the 02 Lamborghini now, who has made it past the 62 Lamborghini of Jimmy Rosenforth. As the 26 is going to get a little bit wide going into turn 7 and 8. It's going to give the 02 a chance to look on the inside. And he is going to make the pass even before they reach turn 9 braking itself. He's going to go up to second. The Union Saver Corvette has lost 2 positions in the span of a lap, I would say, as the 28 Ferrari driven by Giovanni Rose is going to take a look on the 62. The 02 is going to get a good shot to make the pass for the lead going into turn 12, into turn 13 and 14. This is a tricky braking spot, but he's going to make it clean. He's going to take a bit of a look on the inside. 31 closes the door on him as we go back onto the pit straight. 26 is caught up again. He's going to take a bit of a look, go into the cleaner air. There is quite a bit of a draft since all these cars are lined up. 28 is going to take a look on the 62 as well as we go under braking for turn 15. 26 is going to take a look and go on the inside and make the pass stick. 02 is going to go a little bit wide. There goes the 62, the 28. There's a lot of momentum loss going out of turn 15, and he's going to lose 2 positions because of it. Antonio Fazio driving this car right now. Enrico Molinaro is going to take over later on. As the 28 is going to take a look on their braking, going into turn 1. He's going to force the 02 of Fazio to go wide, and he's going to lose position. Here comes the 42, going to take a attempt at it in the Ambrose Milan Ferrari as we go on board with Dennis Van Volk in the 0 Lister. As Joao Pereira in his Lister is going to run a little bit wide, give Van Volk a little bit of room, but it's not enough to make the pass stick. Going out of turn 2 into 3. As we go on board with Rafael Monda as someone goes wide up front. As we go past turn 8, going into braking for turn 9. Looks like it might have been the Corvette or the Zonda as Giovanni Rose is going to take a look around the outside of the 62, but it's not going to happen. Rafael Monda is going to take a look on Giovanni Rose around the outside going into turn 10. Is going to make the pass stick, it looks like. It's going to follow the 42 as all this is going on. The JLD saloon of Tommy Douglas is going to have to take a look. Wants the independent lead back. That's 10 points to the independent. He's going to take a look. There's a little bit of contact. Forces the 42 a little bit wide. They're still side by side going past turn 11, going onto a little bit longer straight. The 42 is going to attempt to close the door, which he will be successful for. The first of the Rojo Lamborghini, driven by Franco Neifzurich, is now third in the independents as we're following his teammate. Whoa, there's a big moment for one of the Aero Racing Corvettes as number 7, John Magnus. This is way back in the pack, about 25th, 26th. These cars have lost the main field. As you see, leading this pack is the Belgio Ferrari by Simon Garfunkel. As it looks like the 7 Aero Racing is going to run a little bit wide. There's not much between all of these cars. They may not be in it for Independence Trophy. They're way behind, but they're still battering to prove something. As we now follow the 62 Zonda driven by Jimmy Rosenforth, team principal and owner of Rosenforth Engineering, as 27 Rafael Manos can take a look on the inside of turn 1, but he's stuck on the inside at turn 2. He's not going to make it happen. As Antonio Fazio did take a look at Giovanni Rota behind him, it's not going to make it happen either, as we are following the 77 Aero Racing Corvette in a little bit behind the pack, as one of the Chris Short Ferraris is going a little bit wide, going out of turn 8, turn 7, and going into turn 8. Not going to make a move happen, but there's going to be a lot of momentum loss as Hazel Takikawa is going to attempt to take a look here, as 77 is going to take a look at the Chris Short Ferrari. It's not going to happen. This is at the back of this main group. Main group goes about from 1st to 15th, 16th, I say, as we're going to follow the 26 Corvette. Ricardo Loza is going to have to take a look at John Zimmer sooner than later. He's going to go to the inside as we see first drops of rain on track already. We are about 45 minutes in. Yes, it is raining on track. The front straight has already been rained on. They did catch it at the worst time. This front straight is very wet already. They're going to have to think about pit strategy sooner than later, as we're going to see a lot of the car. But 15 on back, go onto the pit straight. The rain's going to come back pretty quickly here. As I look on the outside, these clouds are very dark as they come past turn 7 and 8 and go onto the pit straight. Just the taillights go on already. They do not flash here. They're just standard red LED lights. As we go on board with the leader, as you can see those dark red clouds, he's going to lead the way. He is going to be the main guy to watch for strategy. It's going to be either him or some cars way in the back of the field that are going to pit first. This is a big decision they have in front of them. Do you pit early, banking on all of these cars staying out longer, save you a little bit of time as this 26 is going to run a little bit wide? Or do you pit later, hoping the rain stops and save a little bit of time? Because the more time you have on these dry tires, the faster you will be. There's more more rubber on the road, but they will not grip very well in these wet conditions, considering there's no grooves to expel the water out from underneath the car. As the rain is coming down very hard now, these cars are being slip really long. These are 650 horsepower GT1 race cars. As we're going to have to see who's going to pit first as go around to turn 13 and 14. This is going to be a really tricky braking situation. They are turning while braking, and it looks like someone might walk up a rear tire and go spinning into that gravel pit. As everyone's made it pretty clean onto the second straight, going down to turn 15, we're going to need to see if anyone's going to pit. Lights are not on yet, but it's still going to be raining very hard. It looks like the rear pack's going to 26, going to take a look on the inside of the 31, John Zimmer. He's going to just grind on the rear corner panel, and he is not going to make it happen though. Did not get enough power on mid as the 3062 is going to take a look on this 26 either way. Get a little bit of clean air. It's going to be hard to see in the pack. All that spray on the pit straight already. It has not been raining for very long, as the 28 is going to take a look on the 62. Doesn't think it's going to be enough. Third, fourth, and fifth are right within each other, but the 31 is the pace maker at this point. As we have the first car going to pit, it is the number 5 Belgio Ferrari. Simon Garfunkel is going to take it in. A bunch of other cars in the pack. One of the Orico Listers and the Keller Ferrari are going to pit as well. This is a big pit game with regards right at the back of the pack. These were in the battle for about 26th to 29th. As we saw one of the Aero Kings drivers go by, he's going to pit and go for a driver change. North Korean driver Kim Jong-sung. The other cars are probably going to go for a driver change as well, so they have fresh driver, fresh car going into these treacherous conditions. The leading pack has stayed out that lap as the 62 is going to take a look at the 31, not going to work as he's going to try and take a look again. There was a bit of contact between the team cars. The 62 will go through to the lead. Brave move in these wet conditions. But there's going to be side by side going into turn 12. 31's got the inside line, got the preferred line. But the 62 is going to attempt to power around the outside. 26 is going to try and follow him. As they're going to be still side by side going into turn 12 into turn 13. As the O2 has gained a spot on the 28 in the background. Or 27, I mean, as the 31 is going to get bullied out of position going into turn 14 by the 62. Looks like the 26 is going to have a shot at the 31's lost position. As it looks like one of the Ferraris, the Italia Ferrari, is going to take a look in the clean air. Huge amount of spray. It's going to be very hard to see visibility wise, even with the wipers. We're going to see if anyone's going to take a look, go in the pit lane, go behind the 31 Ferraris. Everyone's going to go in. 26 is going to take a look, but they're all going to go in anyways. As you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a car around out back. There's one of the Ambrose Milan Ferraris. Huge long jump going into this really tricky pit in. And we're going to see which one it is. It is the light blue tinted Ambrose Milan Ferrari. I believe that is the 42. They get spun around by what looks like to be one of the DJLD Salinas. It looks like about a dozen cars or so are staying out. It is a brave decision to stay out on these dry tires. You see one of the 3 cars that pit earlier, the Orico, Lister, the Keller Ferrari, and one other car, I believe it was one of the Chris Short Ferraris. As we're going to follow the Orico Salinas, go around the outside of Dulai on these wet tires. Great move. All these cars are still on slick tires. This is one of the cars that did pit earlier on. They have hot, wet tires. They're allowed to get a lot of grip and expel a lot of water. He's going to take a look around on turn 5 on the inside. Made it look easy as it can be. They have gained a lap back. Gained their lap back because they lost a lap. They're going to follow the Belgio Ferrari, who's stuck behind the Gerald Pereira Lister, the number 19 cars. We're going to go down to turn 7, right up close to him. Going to give him a little bit of a nudge, bump and run pretty much. He's going to make the pass stick turn 8, but it's not going to be a lap gain as Dulai in second now. He's going to get forced wide by the Belgio Ferrari of Kim Jong-sung. Really aggressive move going into turn 11. As it looks like he's going to attempt to make the pass into turns 12 and 13 to gain his lap back. He's going around, attempt to go around the outside, going into turn 14. As it looks like the first car's going to go out, it is the Ricardo Losa. Has switched over to Jordan McKenna, and they have let it out. There's going to be the first car out of the pit lane of this lead group. Looks like the 62 Rosa Ford Ferrari to get second out of the lead group. The 02 Lamborghini in third. Great work from those guys. It's going to be leading the way once the pit stops cycle out. As it looks like the Ambrose Milan Ferrari has gone on to the pit straight. This could be a fairly obvious position as this rain has not let up at all in these last few minutes. We're going to see he's going to take that tough left, tough right into the pit, and he's not done it. He's going to stay out another lap. As we're looking in the background to see if anyone else is going to pit, it does not look like it. These cars are going to stay out another lap, which may not be the best decision. The rain has continued, and the leaders have already pit for the wet tires. We're going to follow the Ernest Bruno Aero Kings Ferrari as he is still on slicks. As here is the Antonio Fazio, Enrico Molinaro, Sobo Lamborghini, and the Giovanni Roto Frederic Maxi Vogler Ferrari as Molinaro and the Lamborghini to get past Vogler and the 27 Ferrari can also get past 27 now being piloted by Dennis McNally as the 31's to get pulled up on the pit straight, now being driven formerly by John Zipper, now by Peter Kickert. As we're going to follow the JLD Celine, now driven by Nikolai Nurmasinovich, the Russian. Also pit, he will be the leading independent once the pit stops do cycle out, as it looks like the leading Ambrose Milan Ferrari, who did get spun by the JLD Celine, is going to pit. Dulai is going to follow him into the pit stops. Might have been a few laps late on this one, but we're going to have to see how times span out, as the 26 Corvette is going to go into the lead, as we saw the Onyx Celine go into the pit. It's got a couple of second gap over that Zonda, but there is a gap. But there's a pack of about 4 or 5 cars behind them, and they're working very hard to get back to this lead car. Those cars in the pack are working together to make a drier line, a fast line with this wet rubber, but it's going to be a little bit of wild, as there's a lot of damage to the back of the Aero Kings Viper. Ernest Bruno did take a wild hit in the rear, but we're going to have to take a look at the replay to see that he's going to have to take to the pit. He has no rear wing. It looks like it's one of the Chris Short Ferraris trying to get past. Oh, he just runs into the back of him under braking. Big nasty hit. Aero Kings Viper's probably really lucky that he did make it out. Kept it out of the sand trap. Kept his momentum up. That has a lot of damage to that Chris Short Ferrari. It is going to be the number 55, I believe. They are very similar, as it looks like the 62 was caught up to the 26 Corvette. Jordan McKenna has been very careful in these very treacherous conditions. If you do go very wide on this track, you will find very big puddles, and you will aquaplane off track. The 62 will not be able to take a look at this time right now, as you see one of the Orico listers out in front. Very gingerly in this turn 1. If you do get the power on way too quickly, you will spin off, as they are going to go to one of the next big overtaking spots here on the Sepang circuit. Turn 4, one of the third longest straight on the track, as we're going to follow the Rojo Lamborghini driven by team principal Adrian Rojo Fernandez. He's the lap car. There are 3 cars behind him. We're going to catch him at the wrong spot. Turn 14. This is a really tricky braking spot. They're all going to get checked up. The 31's going to go off. The 03 nearly does the same. Peter Kicker goes off here at the sand trap. He's going to try and get it going. He's going to lose a couple positions on track. There goes the repaired Aero Kings Viper. The 03 driven by Stefani Kuntz nearly did the same here on this situation, but he did manage to keep it together while it was crossed up. 3 more cars have joined this lead duo. The 02 Lamborghini driven by Enrico Molinaro, the 73 Lister, the leading independent driven by Nikolai Nurmasinovich, and the 28 Ferrari Italia driven by Frederic Maxime Vauclair. As there is the Orico Lister in front of him. Not really a threat as of yet, as he is a lot of free air and is not really worried about pace. The 26 has to worry about cars attacking him from behind, as the 73 is going to take a look on the inside at turn 3. Not really going to happen, as the 02s get a lot more power on the outside. It's going to follow the 19 Gerald Parade Listers, the factory lister, the top lister, as they're leading a pack of about 6 cars, 11th down to 17th. There is one of the Aero Racing Engineering Viper Corvettes, both of the Vertieri listers, one of the Orico listers as well. It looks like one of the Chris Short Ferraris in the back as well. Not the one that got caught in the accident before, so it will be the 54. It looks like they're going to be going at a pretty good click here, not really challenging each other for position, as this 26 can go a little bit wide. They've caught up to Rico Lister a little bit, as 62 is going to take a look on the inside, changes his mind, he's going to go to the outside as a go break for turn 9. He's going to have to take a big look. This is a really tricky move. He's going to shut the door on him though. Great move, as the 73 is going to take a look on the 02 again. Nikolai Nermasovic is going to take a look, as the 02 is going to take a look on the 26 now, as the 26 lost a lot of momentum. But the 26 is going to shut the door on him, as the 28 is going to take a look on the 73. Celine is going to make that pass. Now he's going to look on the 02 as well. We're going to go on board with 28, driven by Frederic Maxime Fouclay at this point. There goes the 02 past the 73. Going to go really wide, try and find as much grip as possible. The 73 is pretty much blocked in at this point, and the 20 is going to take a lot of advantage out of this. Go by the 73 and potentially the 02 as we go into turn 12 and 13. There's the 02 Lamborghini. Rico Molinaro is going to keep it right in there. He's on the wrong line though. The 20 is going to make this pass stick on to turn 14 and to the pit straight. As we go on board with the 48 on Rico Autosport Lister, driven by Luca Manna right now. Yuji Ito did drive the car earlier, as the 26 and the 60 are going to be contact in turn 1. They're going to be side by side going into turn 3 and on the run to turn 4. 62 is to get a little bit of run out of 3, but the Corvette does have the inside line. Make an outbreaking maneuver, but he's going to get the inside and take the lead back, as the 60 is going to back out of it, as they have caught up to this Rico Lister going into turn 4. Long left-hand sweeper going to turn 5. This might be a tricky point to pass this Lister, as the 60 is going to get right up there, hit the 48. It's going to allow the 62 to get past as they go into turn 6. Looks like 20 is going to take an advantage of it. Not as much as he had hoped. The 02 is going to take a look on the 28. Under braking here for turn 7, as the 02 is going to get past the 25, was getting caught up behind the Lister going to turn 8. As they're still fighting to get past Luke Hamadna as they go into turn 12 and 13. It looks like they caught him up at the wrong place again. Darren Cardell is going to spin in the background. Correction, it is Stefane Kuntz who has spun. They did make a driver change, as here comes the second group of cars. Looks like the 27 Rafael Modna was in there. Now Dave Spignole, as looks like another car has spun off. It is the 15 Rojo Lamborghini. It looks like it is Jans Zettner behind the wheel, as the Aero Kings Viper and one of the Gerald Prairie Listers going to get caught up, waiting for him to get turned around. Not much position loss, might have been a few positions, but nothing really major in independence points, as 62 is going to take a look on the inside of the 26. Mike Stern is going to make that pass stick on the 26. Jordan McKenna, as the 73 is going to take a look on the 02. The JLD senior by Nikolai Nomasovic is going to make that pass stick. It's going to take 3rd overall. That's going to be good for more than the traditional 10 points for a win in the Independence Trophy. As if you finish in the top 5 overall, and then you are an independent, you do score additional points for that trophy. So at this point, they would score an additional 3 points and would have 13 points in the independence lead. It's going to go in turn 5. Looks like Nikolai's going to attempt to take a look going into turn 6. There is contact. The 26 ran wide, and the 73 tried to take advantage, but the 26 shut the door way too soon. But it's going to allow the 73 to go into 2nd overall. Another independent point earned, as he's going to attempt to take a look at the 62 list. Zonda, as they go into breaking into turn 9. Not close enough, but he's going to take a look anyways. Little bit of contact. It's going to try and rough him up. They can lose momentum, as the 26 is going to run a little bit wide, trying to get an advantage. But the 02 is going to try and take a look on the inside. Not going to happen, as they're going to go into turn 11. The 73 is going to take a look on the out in the inside. Brave move. He's going to have to try and make it happen as they go into turn 12, 13, and 14. He's got the inside though. 14. He's going to try and make it stick, and he is going to make it. Great pass onto the 2nd longest straight on the track, as the 26 is going to take a look at the 62. Great move by Nikolai Nermasovic to get the lead overall. First time in Independence has led this race. It's going to be the JLD's first time leading here in Malaysia. The 26 is going to take a look on the 62 behind them on the inside, turn 15. Roughs them up a little bit, but it's not going to make that pass stick. As it looks like the 26 did spin up the rear wheels going onto the pit straight. The 02 might attempt to take a look as we go on the pit straight, as we have confirmed that the 73 is leading. As it looks like we're going to look back at the end of this lead queue. There are 2 The second and third place independent cars, the number 6, driven by Roland Davidson. This is the Golf Simpson Celine, run by the same team that run the F1R WRS team. And behind them is the Kuhn Engineering Ferrari, driven by Jaylene Maury at this point. Both of them did start a little bit farther back in the pack as the 62. It did get past the 73 early on this lap, but he's not going to make that pass. But he's not going to save that position again, as the 02 is going to take a look on the 62. Going to run a little bit on the outside, but as the 26 is going to, has already lost the position, 28 is going to attempt to take a look at it. But not much position has changed as the 26 is going to get in the back of the 02. Lost a lot of momentum there getting behind. Now that both of the Italia Ferraris are going to have to scramble and try and get past the 26. It looks like the 62 is going to try and take a look as we're going to go on board with the 28. Dennis Magnolia is behind the wheels. This is quite the melee back in the pack. He's going to try and get past Frederic Maxime Vauclair, as they're going to both go into the pit lane. They both take the turn. There's a little bit of contact between the both of them. Alessandro Linari might not be pleased with that, but the 27 driven by Dennis Magnolia is going to lead the second round of pit stops as Kuhn Price is going to join them, surrender that third place in the independents, and try and go for another set of shoes. These wet tires are very soft and they do overheat very easily, and it looks like that might be a problem already. If we follow the 02 Lamborghini, third overall, it's going to go onto the inside, but there's a fire in the back of that Lamborghini V12. He's going to go out of the race. On the run to turn 9, there's a huge fire on that car. All that oil must have gone to the rear tires and spun him out. That is the 02 Lamborghini, the Racing Team Solo factory Lamborghini, out of the race. We already had a Lamborghini retire in the garage. That was one of the Roger Lamborghinis. That was the 32. There was a problem reported by Frank von Neifterich, and the pit and retired during the first round of pit stops. It's going to be quite the concern for the 3 remaining Lamborghinis, including this one, the leading independent Lamborghinis, driven by Jaco Palapinen at this point. And it looks like the 26 is going to pit at the end of this lap. The lead group has been cut dramatically as both the Italia Ferraris already pit. The 02 has retired. And now the 26 gets gone away, as it looks like Roland Davidson's going to look at Stefan Kuntz in the 03 Solo Lamborghini, the remaining factory Lamborghini. As 62, 73, 03, and 6 are the top 4 at this point. We are following them live right now. That's a 73. It's not close enough to make a pass. They're right at the beginning of another pit cycle, so we might be just holding it out to see what will happen. But this is the, at this point, the lead car of the current pit cycle, the 27 Italia Ferrari, driven by Dennis Magnolia. We're going to have to wait and see where the 26 Corvette exits at this point. There's a little bit of front end damage at the front of that Kuhn Ferrari, as we see. Looks like the 31 Rosa Forth did also pit, as followed by a Chris Short Ferrari. Can't really tell which one it is from my position up in the commentary box, as they're going to play another lap. We're going to see who is in the pit lane at this point. It's going to the Chris Short Ferraris, as we're going to have to see if the 26 driven by Jordan McKenna is going to exit in front of them, as it looks like everyone's going to stay out another lap except for Stefan Kuntz in the 03 Solo Lamborghini. He's going to pit this time by, we're deep in the middle of this pit cycle. This is another lap led by the 62 Lamborghini, but we're going to see who is leading of this current pit cycle. It's the 27 of Dennis Magnolia. He is in front of the 26 and the 28. 26 did not get the best pit work. Looks like the 27 did attempt to make the undercut work, get fresher tires on sooner than later, to save a little bit of time on track, and he might exit out the leader once the pit stop cycle out, as we head into turn 13 and 14. Not close enough to make a look, it looks like, as the 62 is going to go pit. The 6 is going to follow him. This is the top 2 cars on track, first and second overall at this point. The leading independent and the leading overall are going to go into the pits for a new set of shoes, as we are following the new leader on track. This is the 27 Italia Ferrari, leading the 26 to 28, as it looks like the 03 Ferrari is going to take a look on Jaylene Maury and the 87 Kuhn Ferrari in the background. The top 3 are within about 2 seconds of each other. As they go around turn 3, it looks like the Italia Ferraris have good setups on their cars during these wet conditions. The 26 did not really work very well in clean air when it was leading out front earlier. Looks like they have found a good setup for when they are in the packs. As we found a good little battle here between the factory lister, I believe is still Shane Sparks. Yes, it is. Look at the white wingtips. And the Orico lister looks like it could be the number 34. Driven by Fernando Valdez at this point. Didn't do that good in testing, but they're currently in the top 15. Gonna get good points in the Independence Trophy. And see the Orico 0 and one of the Chris Short Ferraris. It's hard to tell with those cars. As it looks like a couple of cars that caught up to this main pack is the Kuhn Ferrari, the 03 Lamborghini, and the 62 Rosa Forzanda. As the 28, the Ferrari did get past the 27 a little while ago. Frederick Maxime Fouclay is now in the lead as 26 is going to take a look at the 27. Jordan McKenna is going to take a look on the inside of Dennis McNulty. Is going to make the pass stick. Bumps him up, give him a little bit of a door jam going into turn 1 as the 03 is going to take a look on the 87 going through turn 2 into turn 3. Not going to make the pass happen. The Kuhn Ferrari is very feisty. Going to keep that 4th position overall. Great work from that small Nauru-based team. It's going to go into turn 4. We're going to be following the 27 Ferrari. And they're going to go down into the sweeping left-hander at turn 5. Bit of a bobble there from the 26 going into turn 5. As we go to turn 6, looks like he's going to run a little bit wide, but we're going to follow the 31. Who's also found himself in this deep pack, right at the back end of it. As we can see, the visibility is not very good as Nikolai Musovich found a sneaky way through. Looks like Nikolai's really liking turn 14 for passes, as the two Italia Ferraris are jostling for position, as USAR Corvette has gone into the lead once again. But it looks like they might not have the best clean air setup here in the wet. It is 26, 28, 27, 87, and 03 is your top 5. As there is a lot of spray now going up into the air. It'll be hard to see if you're in the back of this group. As we have found, once again, one of the factory Doral Ferrari listers, number 20, Nestor I and Fabian Rai. Rai is behind the wheel, the South Korean, and they have slowly made their way up the field with good pit work and some really consistent lap times. They are in front of Chaco Palapainen and Dulai in the best number Lamborghini. As leaders are going to complete another lap here. The skies have gotten a little bit brighter, but the rain has still persisted as Darren Cardell is going to lead another pit cycle. They are pitting about every 10 to 15 laps as Cardell's going to lead this pit cycle, and it looks like one of the Rosenforth Lamborghinis is going to pit with him. As we're going to go on board with this 26 Corvette, he's going to go also into the pit. The 25 is way deep in the field. Did not get a good qualifying run, did not get a good start either, but now we have two new leaders. This is the Independence 1-2. JLD Sleen's going to get sneaky and get past the Kuhn Ferrari. Was hesitant watching the others pit in. Must have been focusing too much on who was pitting in. Now we have an Independent 1-2 as Nikolai Masimovic complete another lap and take the lead, as we see the Vittori Zero is going to get out on track with the new pair of wets tires, and the 87 of Jalen Moore can now be second. He'll be happy to know that he led for about a few seconds on track, as we're going to see if they're going to attempt to pit. There are two lap cars in this group, one of the Orico listers and one of the lone Vittori lister, even though they help run the Poyo Poyo team's lister. Are they going to pit? Yes, the 73 is going to pit. The 87 is going to follow them. We're going to have to see where they're going to end up in the pits right now, as we saw the 87, that's the 28 move by in the background. There goes the two lapped cars as these two are going to pit. But leading out the pit cycle is going to be the 26 Corvette. Great pit work from the Union Saber Developments team. They're going to put Ricardo Losa back in the car to end this race. Jordan McKenna did get to acquire 30 minutes out of driver's time, and he has now a 3-second lead going out on track. Probably even a little bit more than that. We're going to go past the start-finish straight. He's going to need to work and get as much out of this car right now. It looks like the Italia Ferrari and looks like the Darren Cardell Stefani Kuntz car. Stefani Kuntz is still in the car. Are going to try and work together and try and get back to the leader, as we found a little short pack. It looks like Dulai is being held up by 2 lapped cars at this point. One of the Orica Lizards with the 48 and the 39 Matthias Keller of Jasper Larbies, as Chaco Palapines could get a little bit aggressive around the 39. A little bit of front end damage on that N-Technology Ferrari. There are 2 different Ferraris in the race. The factory team and Ambrose Milan and Belgio do have the ProDrive 550, while other teams do have the N-Technology 575. It looks like the 28 Ferrari, driven by Frederic-Maxime Vauclair, is gonna attempt to get back into it. As there was another really short stint, because as the sun has come out and the rain has stopped, we are approaching the nearing end of this race. But it looks like they're gonna go straight onto the intermediate tires. While there is still a lot of wet spots on the track, Sepang is really well known for a great drainage system, as this rainstorm type situation is prevalent a lot of the time when F1, Super GT, and now the GTR WC race here on track. And it looks like everyone's going to go into the pits. We see the 03, one of the Rosa Porzanas, and the 73 all pitting at the same time, as we see the tires getting changed on the Corvette. As Dulai and Chaco Palapinen, Chaco is currently behind the wheel, the Indian driver, as they're going to complete a lap, and we have a new leader as is best in the world by K-Lon Lamborghini to lead the way. As we see, they have gone past the Keller up Ferrari, who is also staying out. Looks like the Orica Lizard, who was in that group with the Keller up Ferrari, is going to pit, as this is going to give Chaco a lot of clean air on track, but we're going to see how long this lasts. As the 26 can get the all clear to go out. Is anyone out in front of him? No! He is going to lead it out again. Great pit work from the Austrian team. They have been doing that throughout the whole race, and that's to give them a lot of extra time to get quickly onto the track. As the 28 and the 27 will be second and third. There's the Poyo Racing Lister, who has stayed out. He's going to potentially put a lap on him once this pit stop cycle out. But he's going to save a little bit of time, as that Lister is between the Corvette and the 28 Ferrari, who did make a changes. Now Giovanni Rota is in there to finish off the race, as Rota's going to get a little bit wide. He's going to have to take a look sooner than later to save as much time as possible. We are approaching the near end of this race, although they might go straight back to dries. He's going to go on the inside. He's going to take big braking luck. Rota's going to be right on the back of the 67. He's going to run a little bit wide, going into turn 9, into turn 10 now. He is not going to be able to make this move stick. He's going to need to wait until the pit straight, or he might be a little bit braver than that, as he's going to go into turn 12 and 13. The left-hander followed by the really quick right-hander, which gets really tight to become turn 14. He is still there, but here he goes. He can go around the outside, inside of turn 14. Great move by Rota, who now has a lot of time to make up to the 26, driven by Jordan McKenna at this point. They're going to I correct myself, they've gone back to Losa actually to finish off this race. As we see, looks like the 27 now. So there might Frederic-Maxime Vauclair is going to get past, but not going to have to be worried, as Takakawa is going to go back to the pits. As we see, the track is going to clear out for the 26 Corvette, as a couple of lap cars are going to go pit. He has clean air and not a single drop of rain in sight. He is going to have to power in these last few laps. As we see, the 28 and the 27 are powering to get back in this. There might be a lap car up ahead, but we're not sure if it will have an influence on this finishing of the race. If you see, we're going to go on board with the 28, as we see the gap physically get shorter to the lead car. There's a lot of pressure to get this first win ever for the New Zealand team. This is a brand new team, got the factory Corvette deal out of nowhere, completely unexpected, as it was presumed with the Aero Racing team. Was a internationally renowned team. Was gonna get the Corvette factory drive. As we found the car that might influence this, it is the Aero Kings Viper. Karsten Schachter is behind the wheel, as the 28 has caught up to the 26. But with how much time is left in the race, it will be very close to this Aero Kings Viper to see if they will influence the end of this race. As the 28 has caught up to the 26. About 5 or 6 car lengths between them as they go onto this long pit straight. We have a couple of laps to go. The 27 is behind. The 73 is leading independent. JLD Celine, Tommy Douglas, Nikolai Narmasovic. Great job for them. They're going to score 2 points 2 additional bonus points in the Independence if they continue on right now. As the 28 did get a little bit better run, going out of turn 2, then the 26 Corvette. As the official race timer has reached 2 hours, this is confirmed to be the final lap of the race. Giovanni Rona is running out of time and options to get past the 26 of Ricardo Losa and Jordan McKenna, the Union Saver Corvette. And the 20 is going to run wide going out of turn 7 as they go into turn 8. He is really pushing hard right now. The former Trueba Racing Team owner and driver is really pushing hard to get past the 26 and give Italia their first win in the GTR World Championship and give them the illustrious count of being the team that won the first ever race here. As they have caught up to the Aero Kings Viper, Karsten Schachner is really running out of time and get out of options and get clear of these 2 cars. Blue flags are everywhere. 26 is going to take a little on the inside, but the Aero Kings Viper is going to shut the door. The 49th is shut down the door. It's going to take a look around the outside turn. I think there's contact between the Aero Kings Viper and the Corvette. There looks like there's no damage. They're going to proceed. He's going to hold them up. 28 might take a little on 14, but it's not going to happen. They're going to go in the last pit on the last straight before the checkered flag on turn 15. The 26 is going to go to the inside. Hope to make this pass stick going around turn 15. This might be the race. He is going to make this pass stick on turn 15. There is not enough time for Giovanni Rota to make this pass stick. And Ricardo Losa is going to win it for Union Saver and Corvette. He is going to win the maiden race of the GTR World Championship in Union Saver Development's maiden race. Great work, as Italia is going to take home a 2-3 with the 28 leading home the 27. The 49 Aero Kings Viper was the last car to finish classified. 2